And we're coming to you live from the Built for Tough studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are on the free Odyssey app. Good Wednesday morning. It is the day before the draft. We will get into the latest rumors, some new ones out there. And a guy who Boomer thinks has a good relationship with Giants brass, putting something out there that was very, very interesting. But we have to start with baseball and the New York Mets. Another 6-game winning streak.
What?
10 games over 500.
What?
Tied for the best winning percentage in baseball.
What?
They've already taken 2 out of 3 in this series from the Phillies. We'll see if they can sweep today. And Griffin Canning, amongst other guys that have been tomato cans in their careers, coming here, getting into the pitching lab, and getting it done. It's been incredible to watch. And I know it's early, but hell, if they were 7-17, we'd be talking about how terrible they were. This is an awesome start, and it doesn't feel like it's slowing down anytime soon. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
I'm great, man. As a Met fan, I'm just taking it all in. I mean, when you start listing some of those statistics, their records, their winning streaks, I'm like, I just want to sit here and enjoy this. This doesn't happen very often for our team, and hasn't happened very often for our team. And I concur. This pitching staff has done an amazing job. Griffin Canning got himself in and out of trouble last night, handled it professionally. And I was looking at Carlos Mendoza as the game was going on. I'm wondering, how long are they going to keep him out there? And I think part of it is, okay, we don't want to overuse the bullpen, but we also want to see if the young man can get himself through some tough spots. I think there's a little bit of tough love going there. But I don't know, man. It's like we are in a really weird spot. I mean, like we don't often have opportunities to really feel this way about our team. We always look at it from the perspective of somebody else. And I always say this, why can't our team get off to a great start?
Yeah.
Just once.
Right. I know. I agree. And not have it be so hard all the time. And I know there's many months to go, but the fact that, right now they have a better record than the Dodgers, and they're facing the Phillies, who could be their stiffest competition in the division. We'll see if the Braves ever wake up for real. But they beat them a couple of times already. They beat them in the postseason last year. It feels like they've got their number right now, but there's an expectation of winning. And I reference this moment a lot, but I think it's very important. It was after the Phillies playoff series where the Mets won. It was a champagne celebration, and Steve Cohen said, I want to change the negative perception of the Met fan. And that is happening right now every day. When you put on SNY, you expect them to win.
Yes, I would agree. And the other part of all of this is that, in the beginning, you said, I know it's early. Now, we normally say that when they're off to a bad start.
Yeah.
I am not saying that. I am not saying it's early. I am saying I am taking in every single pitch. I am taking in every single game, and I'm taking in every single moment, because this is a extension of what happened at the end of last year.
Yeah.
This time last year, it was miserable. And we had already started talking about trading Pete Alonso. And we were only in April, and they got off to that horrendous start. So I'm not talking about it's early. I'm talking about stacking wins, stacking series wins, winning at home, dominating at home, having 35 to 38 to 44,000 fans at home in every game, and the fans buying into it. And that's, as a Met fan, I have to say, and many of the players have said, the fans are a big part of this, because now they're coming out in droves and they're seeing a winner and they're expecting to win no matter who is on the mound. It's not like we're throwing Jacob deGrom out there or Matt Harvey in his prime. We're throwing out guys by the name of Griffin Canning, Tyler McGill, a group of relievers that have done an unbelievable job thus far this season. I don't know, man. I don't care how early it is. I'm just enjoying it. And I think it's fantastic. And I think that Steve Cohen and David Stearns, at this point, given what happened last year and what's happening right now, deserve a lot of credit for where we sit as Met fans.
Yeah, and Pete continues to stay hot. It is amazing the confidence that he has in the box. I mean, it's just, if you go and take a look at any at-bat, just pick any at-bat out last year, and just his demeanor at the plate as opposed to his demeanor Now it is a 180, and the game is mental. It's one of those things. We all knew he had the talent last year. It wasn't happening. He feels like he's back to being himself, and he's another guy now. Last year I was expecting him to strike out, grounded to a double play, fly out to center field every time he got up there. Now I'm expecting a home run or a double. It's been so much fun. Now, we'll see what happens with his contract at the end of the year, but I'll tell you right now, he is carried this team offensively. Lindor has woken up, but Pete Alonso has carried this team offensively. And by the way, the Mets starting pitching staff they've got the best ERA in baseball, and they're doing it without Minaya and without Montas, who we'll see what he ends up being. But those were going to be two guys that were locked in the starting five this year. They're both out, and they still have the best ERA in baseball. If every single person, and I don't blame them, every single person breaking down the Mets and breaking down the National League East said the Mets' weakness is the starting pitching. It's the starting pitching. It's the starting pitching. It's been the best in the game.
Yes, it has been, and I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying every minute of it, and we all should be sitting back and enjoying this. And to have the feeling that your team is going to win every time they step on the field is really, I mean, it's a foreign feeling, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe from at the end of last year when they were on that run and Lindor was carrying the team and Jose Iglesias was a big part of it, and the OMG stuff and all the things that were going on like in August and September. I mean, it's carried over to this season. And I think a lot of it, for me anyway, a lot of it has to do with Juan Soto. Even though his numbers are pedestrian, to say the least, given what he's being paid, he will heat up. Eventually, he will heat up, and he will be the one that will be carrying the team because it's too long of a season for him not to. And I just think that his presence around this team has definitely had a positive effect, regardless of what the numbers tell you. I'm just telling you, I see a competitive guy every time he steps in the box, and I think that really has had a cascading effect on everybody else in the lineup. So
yeah,
it's all good, and even he's only been average.
Right, which is another one of those things you can say that the team could even get better. We talk so much about the Mets getting Juan Soto. Juan Soto got the Mets too. Juan Soto came here and joined the team at the perfect time. They after turning it around last year, and I know it's not the exact same team, but the core is still here. Joining a team that believed and wants to win and cares about winning every single game, and that's why the fan base, packing out Citi Field early on in the season, I think is so important. Like you can't have those mental lapses when there's 35,000 people in an April game. You can't, because they're there, they're rooting for you, they got your back. Like, it feels like a way more important game than one of 162 in April.
If I had one minor nitpick.
Okay, you're allowed.
It's a minor nitpick.
You're allowed.
And I think hopefully he's going to be a really good player for the Mets. Is that sometimes I think Luis Acuna Jr. is not really sure what's going on the baseball field.
Yeah, a little helter-skelter.
Like, I'm not really sure if he knows where he's going, where he's supposed to go, when to run, when not to run on the base paths, where to cover, where to go when you're a second baseman. Sometimes he's like floating around out there.
Yeah.
And he's not really sure. And it's so hard for me to believe it. I know that Gary sometimes when they're doing the games, and even and Keith every now and again will be like flabbergasted that they're not sure what he is doing at second base.
Yeah, it's awareness, not exactly a 10 for him.
I mean, you played baseball your whole life.
Yeah, I don't know.
A second baseman your whole goddamn life.
But he's also been.
You got to know where you're going.
Yeah, true.
I mean, is it that hard?
For some guys, he's been getting away with being as talented as anybody for a long time, and he's got to focus.
But he's got to wake up.
The focus thing.
I'm hoping that Carlos Mendoza and I hope they're taking him aside and saying, like, you just can't be floating around out there like a butterfly.
Yeah, like you used to say to us, dancing with the fairies.
Yeah, well, what are we doing out there?
Yeah.
I mean, you like the kid out in right field picking his nose.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't want to see that. Get your finger out of your nose and let's go. Let's get our heads out of our ass and let's figure out what we're doing.
Yeah,
but again, that comes back to coaching. That comes back to managing. It comes back to sitting the young man down, going over videotape with him, and making him realize the mistakes that he has made from time to time. That both Gary, and to their credit, and Keith and Ronnie, actually all three of them, have pointed out. And it is a little bit of a nitpick And I know everybody wants him to be great, but he also he can't be, like dancing with the fairies. I mean, like he's sometimes just out there, and I feel like there's like little butterflies flying around his head. And
he's got to lock in.
He's not aware of what's going on.
Yeah, he's got to lock in, and Francisco Lindor basically said as much about him and in games. Now, these are regular season games up at the big leagues, so there's no excuse. Not a spring training game. It's not a minor league game. So he's got to get that out of his game. And, someone that is heating up, Mark Vientos, getting very close to his potential offensively, which is something that I've been waiting for this entire month. So that is another positive, and you get that guy hitting the way he's supposed to hit. The lineup is
well.
Is
I mean,
lethal.
and again, you're going to have stops and starts throughout the lineup.
But there's a sophomore slump thing. So the reason why, I don't get as worried about guys like Lindor or Soto, but Pete Alonso, you maybe were a little bit more worried about coming into the year because of what happened last year. There's all circumstances around other guys. Sophomore slump is a thing.
I know it's a thing. I mean, and when I think of Pete Alonso, I think of Chris Kreider and the Rangers.
Yeah,
homegrown talent.
That's right.
Didn't have a great year. Has moments in the playoffs. Was a little bit injured this year, and that's why I want the Rangers to keep him. I want the Rangers to keep their homegrown talent and somebody that's had a great 13-year career but had an off year this year. It happens. People go, and have off years for whatever reason, whether it be injuries or different situations that they're involved in around the team and all. That has happened with different teams. And I think Pete was a little bit of that last year, but look at what he's doing this year. I mean, there was a chance that he was not going to be on this team. And quite frankly, we talked about the impact that Soto was going to have, and he is one that has been a direct positive result to Soto's, being in the lineup, being here, being a part of the team. And you can feel like, when you win, the team looks like it does. It looks like it's happy with each other. They all get along. And that's exactly what winning does. That's the elixir that cures any internal strife or any of the other crap, because nobody wants to be the reason why you lose. That's where the Mets are right now, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
So many guys clicking, on all phases, offense and starting pitching and bullpen, and you don't want to be the weak link in that. You feed off that in a positive way. You feed off that in a negative way, too. When things are going bad, that is contagious as well. So it has been great. Now, we talk about the Pete thing. I've said it many times already. I know the reasons why you don't, get wrapped up in what's going on right now and talk contracts and all of that thing. But, if it were me, and I'm a fan, and I'm not David Stearns, and I'm not ruthless, I'd find a way to be like, all right, Pete, tacking 4 more years onto this thing right now.
Just relax.
I'm tacking 4 more years onto this thing.
Just relax.
We're taking care of you, man.
Take it easy.
We're taking care. We're going to do I want polar bear bobbleheads for the next 5 years.
I know you do.
That's what I'd like to see.
If you're David Stearns, you just got to take it one game at a time. Just let the whole thing play itself out. And let's hope that, the Mets have 2 or 3 guys that are in the MVP running. Let's just hope it, and let's hope Pete is one of those guys and he continues doing what he's doing. I'm happy as hell for him because, this is a money year for him without question. And thus far, he's been answering almost every single question.
Yeah, he has.
And by the way, his play at first base has been really good.
Yeah, he picked one last night that was really impressive. And, that's one of those things that he got labeled as early on in his career, and he wasn't great, but now I think he's above average. I think he's above average.
Runs above average. What the hell is that thing?
No, that's wins above replacement. Is that what you're talking about? Defensive.
What's runs above average?
I don't know what that is, but
I don't know. That sounded like something that was important.
No. But his I believe he's above average defensively at first base, and I think that's an unfair thing.
Of course he is. Yes, he is. We've seen it for the last 3 or 4 years. He's gotten better each and every year defensively. So I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'm agreeing with you. I don't know. You're doing this. I don't know what to tell you thing. Like I'm disagreeing with you.
No, I know you're not disagreeing with me, but that whole runs above average thing.
I didn't say that.
No, I said that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not even sure that's a thing.
That's not a thing. Runs above average is not a thing.
Yeah, it's raw.
Raw.
Listen, he's leading the league in raw. All right, it's Boomer and Gio on the Fan CBS Sports Network.